Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to your JavaScript series brought to you by Code Request etc. In case you skipped the previous episode and bumped into this one, I still remain Tony Cletus, your instructor. Alright, so in this episode 30, we are going to look into the standard built-in objects. We'll look at some standard built-in objects that JavaScript has given us already or embedded in JavaScript for us to use. There are so many built-in objects in JavaScript, just that we don't really know them because you've not learned object-oriented programming, and that's why I have to take you through the custom objects first before we go into standard built-in objects. So the custom objects are the objects that we create ourselves. So that one, we've treated that one earlier. The standard built-in objects are the ones that are already inside JavaScript that we just have to use to perform or solve some problems. For example, if you don't know, the array you used is an object. Understand, the primitive data types you have, most of them, they are already built-in objects. So if you want to know that this array is a built-in object, you will see how we can also use an array by trying to initiate an array using the new operator also. So what do I mean by that? For example, if you want to have an array of people, we can just inherit the object array by doing this. Var people is equal to new array, and here I can have different names of people: Tom, Eddie, and Luther. You see, so by this we are able to take up or inherit this array and make use of it. It's not the same way we did it in the custom built-in objects, just that we're not creating any constructor function or any prototype function, or we're not doing it ourselves. JavaScript has already done that. All we need to do is to specify the object we want to inherit, which must be inside JavaScript documentary, you understand? Doing the console.log people, and we'll bring the square bracket and we say let's try to output array 0 base. So we'll do 0 1. We'll try to output 1 here. So if we paste this here and we save this just for confirmation's sake, if we refresh, you see that we have Eddie. So it's not performing the same function as the array that we treated earlier in the previous episodes. The same thing. So this is to prove to you that all these arrays and string, they are also built-in objects in JavaScript. Let me just comment this. The main object we'll be using as a case study today is the date object, and the date object allows us to perform some operations with date. The date has so many properties inside. Let me just list them out. It has a year, a month. So the date object has a year, a month, a day, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds. These are properties, you understand? These are properties. And what about method? The date object also has some predefined method inside. For example, we have methods like get full year, get day, get time. There are so many of them, but let me list the one I can. We have just like get time. We'll be using this one. Okay, so I've been able to list out some methods that are inside the date object and some properties that are inside the date objects. This is because these are the ones that I use mostly, you understand? We have so many others. You can also check them out by opening the console and trying to type get as. You see get as, you see date object, you see that we have the date object, and once you click it, you see it's giving us the date in the console. But there are some date formatting that we can use to just give us some specific things that we want, and that is what will bring us to how to initiate the date object by creating objects from the date constructor or class that has already been predefined. So how do we do that? For example, we can just go ahead and just type the date here, February 15, 2018. If I say console.log d, so if we save this and we go back to the console, clear the console, refresh, you see we've altered the date that we're currently having, and you can change it to anything that you want. So we've changed it to Thursday, February 15th, you understand, with the rest that we didn't try to give value to. So you can also set your own date value also. Let's try to play with the methods and see how cool we can use them. For example, after creating the object d, we can come here and just do something like console.log d dot. Let's try to get the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. So if I say d.get as, and I'll concatenate this, there will be some concatenation. So we're just trying to format this date now. Understand? We try to bring d.get seconds. We'll try to get the seconds also. We're supposed to put the parentheses here. So if we save this, come back here, refresh, hopefully we should get the time now, the full time, starting with the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. So these are some ways that we can play with the date object, you understand, with the predefined method and properties that we have inside. To do a quick recap, what we did, we looked into two major objects here today. That's the array built-in objects and the date built-in objects. We'll try to check the method inside of this date object, and that's how it works. Now if I open another text editor, this is the Visual Studio Code. I use that also. Now if you check through this, I try to create a digital clock using the date object, and you can see how I did that. I'll leave a video down in the description box where you can click on it and watch and learn how to use the date object very well. Okay, this is it. So this is the digital clock that I created using the date object. You can see we just got the hours, the minutes, the seconds, and PM, and whatever is happening here. So you see that this is animative. See the seconds is counting. And so you can get the link to this video down the description box and you can learn. And it's just a simple code, a simple tutorial. Just get it and you watch and learn. In our next tutorial, we'll be looking at the mass object, because we'll pretty much use the mass object for a lot of things. It's another standard built-in object that we have in JavaScript. Don't forget to subscribe. I like the attention. It's a way of encouraging me to do more. So thank you guys. See you later.